of a visionary. On April 9, 1806, in Portsmouth, England, a boy was born who would one day reshape the industrial world. Isambard Kingdom Brunel. His father, Mark Isambard Brunel, was a French engineer and inventor, while his mother, Sophia Kingdom, was an Englishwoman with a sharp intellect. From an early age, Brunel was surrounded by blueprints, machines, and engineering talk. His father's innovative mind deeply influenced him. Even as a child, Brunel was fascinated by how things worked: clocks, bridges, and ships. He sketched designs and built small models, often amazing his teachers. His name, a blend of English and French heritage, would soon become synonymous with innovation and bold engineering. Little did anyone know that this young boy would one day change transportation forever, connecting cities, rivers, and people through his imagination. The making of an engineer. Brunel's early education took place in England, but his father wanted him to master the fundamentals of mathematics and mechanics, so he sent him to France to study at the Lycée Henri IV in Paris. There, young Isambard excelled in geometry, drawing, and mechanics. He was disciplined, curious, and passionate about design. By his teenage years, Brunel was already drafting advanced mechanical diagrams that impressed his instructors. Returning to England, he joined his father's projects, particularly the construction of the Thames Tunnel, the first tunnel under a navigable river. Working alongside his father taught him both the brilliance and dangers of engineering. The project faced repeated flooding, danger, and financial strain, but Brunel's courage never wavered. Those early years shaped him into an engineer of iron will, unafraid of failure, ready to tackle any obstacle. The perils of the Thames Tunnel. The Thames Tunnel was one of the most ambitious projects of the 19th century. It aimed to connect Rotherhithe and Wapping beneath the River Thames, something never attempted before. Brunel, barely in his 20s, became the chief assistant engineer. The tunnel shield, an invention by his father, was revolutionary but risky. In 1828, disaster struck. The tunnel flooded, killing several workers. Brunel himself narrowly escaped death, sustaining serious injuries. The project halted temporarily, leaving him both physically and emotionally scarred. Yet, from that darkness rose his resilience. Instead of retreating, Brunel learned from the failure. He realized that progress demands courage and persistence. The Thames Tunnel would later be completed, proving the Brunel's vision correct, and establishing Isambard as a rising star of British. The Great Western Dream. In 1833, Brunel became the chief engineer of the Great Western Railway, a project that would transform transportation in Britain. His dream was to create a railway so smooth that passengers could travel from London to Bristol as if gliding on air. He introduced the concept of broad gauge tracks, providing greater speed and stability. Brunel designed every element, bridges, stations, and tunnels, with elegance and precision. His vision extended beyond Britain. He imagined passengers stepping off trains in Bristol and boarding steamships bound for America. It was a grand, almost poetic vision, connecting continents through technology. The Great Western Railway wasn't just about steel and steam. It was about progress, imagination, and unity. Building the impossible. Brunel's creativity seemed limitless. As the Great Western Railway expanded, he faced enormous challenges: rugged hills, deep valleys, and wide rivers. But obstacles only fueled his determination. He built the Box Tunnel, the longest railway tunnel of its time, and the Maidenhead Bridge, with its elegant flat arches that engineers once said could never stand. Yet, Brunel's calculations proved perfect. His works combined mathematical genius with architectural beauty. He believed engineering should serve both function and form. Every bridge he built was not just a structure, but a statement that human will could conquer nature's limits. His railway became a symbol of the new industrial Britain, moving faster, further, and with greater ambition than ever before. The Great Western Ship. Brunel's ambitions soon moved from land to sea. In 1837, he designed the SS Great Western, the first steamship purpose-built for transatlantic travel. It was a bold idea, a ship powered by steam rather than wind. Critics called it foolish. Brunel called it the future. The ship's maiden voyage from Bristol to New York proved him right. It arrived faster than any sailing ship of its time, marking a new era in global transportation. Brunel had connected continents, not just by rails, but by waves. The success of the Great Western solidified his reputation as a genius who thought beyond boundaries, an engineer who built dreams. The Great Britain Revolution. Never satisfied, Brunel set out to build something even greater, the SS Great Britain in 1843. It was the first large ship made entirely of iron and powered by a propeller instead of paddle wheels. At over 300 feet long, it was the largest ship in the world. People were stunned by its scale and beauty. The ship combined strength, speed, and elegance in ways never seen before. It changed shipbuilding forever. Yet, the project faced immense financial troubles, and Brunel's company struggled. Still, he refused to surrender. His spirit remained unbroken. "Nothing is impossible," he once said, "if it can be imagined." That belief became the heartbeat of every project he touched. The Great Eastern, a giant is born. Brunel's final and most ambitious project was the SS Great Eastern, launched in 1858. It was a ship of unimaginable size, 6 times larger than any other vessel afloat. Designed to carry 4,000 passengers and travel to Australia without refueling, it was a marvel of engineering. Yet, its construction was plagued with difficulties, accidents, and immense cost. Many called it Brunel's folly. But the Great Eastern was far ahead of its time. It later became vital in laying the first transatlantic telegraph cable. Though it brought Brunel great stress and financial ruin, it also symbolized his unyielding vision, that technology should always aim for the extraordinary. Trials, failures, and triumphs. Behind Brunel's public successes lay years of sleepless nights, injuries, and criticism. His health suffered as he worked endlessly, often ignoring exhaustion. He faced opposition from investors, rivals, and even fellow engineers who doubted his radical ideas. But Brunel never backed down. For him, failure was not defeat, but a lesson. Every collapsed bridge, every flooded tunnel, every miscalculated cost only made him more determined. His projects might have strained his finances and health, but they elevated human achievement. Brunel proved that greatness is born not in comfort, but in struggle, in daring to dream beyond the ordinary. The man behind the genius. Despite his fame, Brunel remained a private man. He married Mary Horsley in 1836, and they had 3 children. At home, he was loving but deeply absorbed in his work. Friends described him as witty, confident, and restless. He wore his signature tall hat and smoked cigars endlessly as he walked through construction sites, shouting commands and sketching designs in his notebook. Yet, beneath that confident exterior was a man haunted by perfection. He demanded excellence, not only from his workers, but from himself. For Brunel, engineering was not a job. It was an obsession, a calling, a lifelong pursuit of the impossible. The final years. By the late 1850s, Brunel's health was failing. Years of stress, overwork, and constant pressure had taken their toll. As the Great Eastern neared completion, he suffered from severe exhaustion and heart problems. On September 5, 1859, just days after witnessing his ship's first trial, Brunel collapsed. He died 10 days later, on September 15, 1859, at the age of 53. Britain mourned deeply. Newspapers called him the man who built the modern age. Though he never lived to see all his dreams realized, his creations continued to inspire generations of engineers and dreamers across the world. Legacy of steel and imagination. Brunel's legacy is woven into the very fabric of modern Britain. The Clifton Suspension Bridge, completed after his death, stands as a symbol of his vision. His railways still guide trains across the English countryside. His tunnels, bridges, and ships redefined engineering standards for the entire world. Brunel didn't just build structures. he built possibilities. His belief that technology could unite humanity became the foundation of the industrial era. Today, he is remembered not only as a genius engineer, but as an artist of industry, a man who turned iron and steam into poetry. The immortal engineer. Over a century and a half later, Isambard Kingdom Brunel remains a towering figure in history. Statues of him stand across Britain, hat on head, cigar in hand, eyes fixed on the horizon. His name represents the courage to innovate, the will to persevere, and the power of imagination. Time has tested his works, but they still stand strong, just like his legacy. Brunel once said, "I am opposed to the word impossible." And indeed, he proved that the impossible can be achieved when vision meets determination. He was not just an engineer. He was a dreamer who built the world we live in.